Hello, my name is Christiana Carr. I am a senior from Manhattan, Kansas, and I just transferred here from Kansas State University. This summer, I got the opportunity to take a CRS-181 course, and I learned a lot of things about not only about communication, but I learned a lot of things about body language and listening as well. Over the course of this summer semester, we listened to a various amount of videos, lecture videos, as well as reading and getting to apply it to real life situations. I think that my biggest takeaway from this was learning not about more about the community. When you think about communication, you think more about talking and different ways you can talk. For example, nonverbal communication, social media, and how people communicate through social media as well. But one thing that I also learned about is just the listening process that goes into it. The first day that I had watched the lecture video, we had talked about the communication model, how there's a speaker, a message, a receiver, and then there's feedback. One of the things that I learned the most out of that was that no response is a response, and that you can definitely tell how somebody reacts to a message or how somebody may take the message by the way that they react to it. And not all the time is the message that the speaker is trying to send exactly how the receiver is going to receive the message as well. And that really opened my eyes, because in the basketball world, there's a lot of things whenever you're dealing with a team and so many different personalities and stuff, you have to talk to people in different ways for them to receive the same message. And so that was one thing that I got to apply to my real life situations. I do feel like I can apply a lot of communication methods to basketball, because being a leader on a team and being an upperclassman, you have to be able to use your voice, but also being able to listen to what other people have to say and being able to accept criticism is another thing. Another thing that we talked about is body language, and that also was interesting to me, because you don't really think about a lot of like the body language that you think about in situations that could help you. For example, the video that we had talked about how the lady had talked about not faking it till you make it, but fake it till you believe it. I really enjoyed watching that video, because she put into perspective about how you can go into so many different situations with a better mindset, simply because you boost your confidence by the way that you present yourself with your body. And I think that's very helpful for me right now, because I am a senior and I'm about to graduate, and I'm going to be looking to start applying for jobs, as well as building my brand to hopefully be able to play professionally one day as well. And in situations where you may not feel as confident or you want to feel more confident, I didn't think that body language had such a big part to deal with it, but it actually does. Another thing that I think that we talked about is how much culture has to do with communication as well, and how different people communicate depending on their culture. I do think that this day and age is like quote unquote culture with social media and everything like that is a lot different than how my parents would communicate. For example, like the talking stages and just the way that people go through or go about relationships is a lot different than how our parents went about going through relationships as well. So I think it was just very interesting to listen to from a different perspective and learn about it in class. I think this class did a really good job of being able to apply all these communication methods and situations to real life situations, and it really helps me put into perspective a lot of things that my major can apply to in my real life as well. I feel like a lot of things that we take away from school, we have trouble applying it to our life. For example, like math and like geometry and stuff like that, you rarely ever apply those things to your life. I mean, not my life, at least not my life. But I do think communication is one thing that everybody does, whether they like it or whether they don't like it. Communication is something that people do on a daily basis. And so there's so much that goes into it about listening, body language, communication, etc., that we have so much yet to learn about. And I think it's very interesting. And I'm happy that I got to take this class this semester. And I hope that I can continue to use these tools that I learned in this class to keep applying communication and just applying it to my everyday life.